sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes. Another beautiful morning here in Santa Barbara. Welcome. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. 12 years we've been doing this. It feels like yesterday, Hattie.
Yeah, it does. And here we are. This is an auspicious time because not only is this the first program in October, it's the first program in the fourth quarter, and it's the only program on the 5th of October, 2021.
Nice. Okay, now give the big reveal because you have loaded us and thrown us out on all the social platforms. So why don't you go down the list?
Oh, good heavens. We are on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Stitcher, Player FM, Blueberry, iHeart, and Amazon Music. We are all over the internet, but you can also go to, and that website I believe is teensportsradio.com. You can also Google if you wanted to Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio because, you know, our location is Santa Barbara, but we are global, and we are talking about teens. We are talking about how we can help them to be better teens, if you will, better citizens as they grow up, give them the leg up, if you will, through the various people we have on this program between, Richard and his health minutes. We also have those college coaching moments as well. We also have good food from, who is it, Erica? Something organic.
Something's good organic, and she's here today. Carolyn Gibbons, let's put our hands
together. All right.
Woo! Yeah, we're happy about that.
I gotta connect with her because I gotta start getting our box because I can go to the organic section of the local or the other, but I'd rather get it from the ground that is grown right here in Santa Barbara and have it as fresh as I would eat it right off the plant as it is still alive. If it were possible to do that. So I got to get in touch with Ms. Gibbons for setting up a box to start enjoying that great organic food of Santa Barbara.
It was awesome because last time I went there, it was awesome. I'm followed by this. I was getting concerned, really, actually. I was followed by this fire truck. And I'm like, whoa, God, so I'm going as fast as I can. Because, what am I going to do? Go into the tomato bush, right? I mean, I have no place to go. So I actually stopped, and she's Karen, I love you so much. And she's just loading up a box, and then she's just running out to the firemen and donating some beautiful vegetables and everything. She's like, you got to support our frontline workers. And, we have to support our farmers, our local farmers.
Yes.
So without any further ado, Carolyn Gibbons, how are you doing this morning?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy that this is a blessing to have the Zoom because it's hard. It was really hard for you to get into the studio.
Yeah.
So
once I moved up to Buellton and spawned 2 children, it's impossible to get anything done in completion.
Yeah. All right, so tell us, we pick up our box weekly, and I just love it. I'm so excited. I mean, I've done a lot of little video pieces of exactly what is in our box, and I always throw that out on the internet because people just don't understand. I'm on a 5-foot table, and a large box pretty much fills the whole table. And I don't understand how people just does, and it's my time, and it's. Again, the supporting the farmers, it saves me a lot of time. And maybe we could touch on this a little bit because I have had actually people explain to me that the organic section in the grocery store isn't really like a farm, like their organic farm. Well, I would think it because of transportation or something. So maybe we could go through that, and then we could tell us what's in the ground right now that we're serving, what's being seasonal right now.
Yeah, I was going to touch on the grocery store. I don't think grocery stores are always trying to support local farms. I think they're trying to get the cheapest produce they can so they can make the biggest, profit. So it doesn't always come local. It's not always seasonal. If you see a tomato in the middle of December, as much as you want one, it's probably not going to taste like a tomato you're going to go get from the ground or something you grew. So there's a big difference. Stuff that we put in the box is picked ripe. It's picked within 24 hours of you getting it. So there's a big difference between that transit time and the time it's been in the warehouse and the shelf to when you get it.
So talk to us about what's seasonal right now. What do we have? I mean, I just unpacked my box last night, but tell us what we got.
We're stretching the season of summer. So we're finishing up melons and fruit, a lot of that summer fruit. And we're still running with a lot of bell peppers and hard squash and zucchini and always with the lettuce and the carrots. We're packing in onions while all that stuff kind of grows during the summer, and we stock up the CSA boxes while it's fresh out of the ground. So we're a lot of the stuff that's grown up here in Buellton, we're shifting down to Goleta, that kabocha. It's my favorite.
I thought this was a pumpkin.
It's not.
I didn't know.
It's probably one of my favorite squashes. It doesn't store as well as a butternut because it's higher in sugar. So it's just a really tasty treat, and you can eat the skin.
Right. So I just cut this and roast it. Is that what's the best thing to do?
I roast mine with butter and maybe like a little maple syrup if you're feeling that.
Nice. Yeah, I was like, Dominique ran and thank God she didn't throw this at me. I wasn't paying attention. It's like, yeah, this is beautiful. All this stuff. It's the smell. It's the vibe. I mean, the people that work there, they're happy. They just want to be there. Do you take, are you in a position right now, like where we're at with the COVID and everything like that? Do you want to take on maybe like some kind of internship program? Because, there's just kids that just don't know where the food comes from. Like, I don't know, maybe we could set up tours like at elementary schools.
Yeah, we've definitely done that in the past. COVID put a hiatus. Sorry, I got a siren behind me. COVID put a hiatus on that, but we've definitely done education with elementary schools, and it's a little tricky now that I'm up in Buellton. People have to make a trek, but it's a beautiful place up here.
Right.
And, we got lots of animals and things going on, so definitely.
Well, hopefully that's going to be allowed again, and you'll be back on full force. I mean, I'm hoping like by the spring of next year. I just think it's so important.
Oh man,
for kids to
especially
see
here
that
in California and where we're at, we're in the mecca of food.
Christine, you have any questions? I know you guys all want to talk. I could see.
Do I have any questions? Let's see. I can't think. I think it's so. Do you do internships with local teens or local schools? Anything? I know that COVID's gone. Kind of put up. But do you do an actual internship?
As far as work internship?
Yeah, like have local teens and kids come.
I mean, I have had people work with the CSA program like that. My father-in-law runs the farm, so he's more in charge of the work on the farm, and it's I don't know that he has done internships, honestly.
I have another question. What about WOOF? The Worldwide Organization of Organic Farmers. Are you guys a part of that at all?
No, not that either. I think that there's it takes a certain different aspect of the farm to be able to support that kind of community.
Yeah.
Don, you have something?
Oh no, I was just flicking something out of the way here. Actually, where's your main field?
So it started in Goleta. So there's about 50 acres in Goleta, actually 60 with John's 10 acres where he lives. He also farms up at El Cap, 20 acres there. And then we have a big old farm up in Buellton. It's 100 acres and the river runs through it. So we farm about 80 of it.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
With cows and goats and donkeys and chickens and the whole shebang.
Oh, we need to do a Teen Sports Radio we need to do
field trip.
Definitely. That's what we need. Road trip. That's
yes.
it. Sure.
Field trip.
Romp and jump.
Yes. Katie, you want to add anything before we go?
Just plug for Farmers Market. For those of us who can't get out to Buellton, I'm a regular shopper there every week, and it's a great place to go and you get to meet all the farmers and the produce, get to know them, have these long-term relationships, knowing your farmers. It's the best. And it's right here in our own neighborhood. We have Saturday and Tuesday here in Santa Barbara and then other locations throughout the rest of the week. Highly recommend. I go on my bike and I fill up with all the great produce for my week and I feed my family on it. So I love you farmers. And then also, having a lemon tree or an orange tree in the backyard, that's what I have every morning. There's that fresh lemon, that fresh orange right off the tree, and it starts my day and just this wonderful vitality that I can't get enough of.
Wow.
High vibrational food.
Yes, I love it. Fantastic. Well, Carolyn, whatever we could do for you, we'd love you to come back, every other month or so, whatever you need. If you need more new commercials, you let us know.
I will.
We love to.
I'll be back for sure. Now that we got Zoom up and running,
That's it. We're fun. This is fun, and it's nice to be able to educate and share with the kids. Your body is your temple. So when you're looking at those organic sections, it's a conversation that you're going to have with yourself. I used to run in there and grab stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna support my farmers. So I'll just go online because you've made it so easy, and you can a la carte your boxes now. If you want more cilantro or you want more seasonal vegetables, you can actually tailor make a box that fits you. And I really like that about what you offer online. So are we still delivering, or is it still just pick up?
Delivering, and we're from Montecito to the Valley, so we deliver all the way,
Nice,
that area.
Beautiful. Dominique is here. Hey, Dee.
Hey, quick question. What's your website again, Carolyn, before you go?
Absolutely. It's somethinggoodorganics.com.
Somethinggoodorganics.com. Check it out. Support our local farmers. Carolyn, we love you. We've been together since day one. We appreciate you. We started the Grow Food Not Grass, I don't know how many years ago, and we made everybody rip out their lawns, and it turned out to be, I think they were doing fleet farming in San Roque because it turned out so good. Our around our whole house is edible. So I don't want anything cataclysmic to happen, but we can definitely go out in the yard and grab something to eat for sure. So thank you. You were my inspiration for that. We love you.
Thank you.
Take care. God bless. All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Let's take a little break. This is Erica Saldo. We've got a big show right after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Saldo, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, welcome back to Teen Sports Radio. This is Dominique Hackett with lots of things. Teen Sports Radio, Santa Barbara Wellness Center, Theosophical Books for the Blind, Santa Barbara Braille Institute, lots of things. But this morning, I want to introduce Kimmy Van Dyke, who is a part of Safe Technology, and we're going to talk to teens and parents about cell phones, 5G, just all sorts of really great things that people aren't really talking about, but we really need to talk about this. Kimmy, take it away.
Hey, Kimmy, put your hands. Why am I the only one clapping? Okay, I want everybody to clap. Good, thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. So lovely to see all of you. I also have one of my cohorts with me, Ms. Katie Mickey, and she's the VP on our board for Safe Technology for Santa Barbara County. If everyone could go visit our website and sign up for our newsletter, that would be super huge. It's safetechsbc.org. And there's a lot to share about this wireless frequency that we are being inundated with. There's so much coming in, being installed on cell phone, on towers in our own cities, right on power poles and on light posts right in front of our homes. And we are working tirelessly to make the most protective ordinance possible for Santa Barbara City. And hey, Katie, maybe you could give us an update on that because you're a little bit deeper in, so you can explain where we're at in our next call to action, because this is super important timing right now.
So we have hired the best attorney in the country, a man named Andrew Campanelli, to do an analysis of the ordinance that the city will be voting on soon. And there are specific things that need to be in an ordinance so that when Crown Castle makes an application for a cell tower, wherever they choose, and they're making applications for towers now right in front of people's homes, within feet of their bedroom window, or on soccer fields. We were recently at a rally, and we had a local from out of town saying that there was a large tower installed on a soccer field where kids are playing. And so the city needs to have within their ordinance specific requirements that the telcos need to satisfy in order for that application to be approved. And so this is what we're advocating for, very specific requirements. Otherwise, they say our hands are tied. We can't deny these applications because on the federal level, the Telecommunications Act won't allow us to deny it. But the truth is, if we have it encoded in our ordinance, what the requirements are, then our planning departments can say, no, this application doesn't fit the character of our neighborhood. It doesn't fit our aesthetics. It doesn't fit our purpose. It doesn't support the quiet enjoyment of our streets. These are all languages that we can use. There's a what might be in danger of falling off of one of these towers.
Fire.
They're called fall zones. They're combustible. They change the trees in the area by making them trees emit more terpene, which makes them more combustible. They're the large fires down in Malibu in recent years both have a correlation. The most recent one is under investigation to understand what how much of it was in the fault of utility versus the telco that was co-locating. So we want to have protective measures, and so we're asking people to weigh in with our city council. City council has so many issues that they're grappling with, and so they have let us know. We have many sympathetic on the council, but they've let us know we need more numbers, we need more voices to communicate that we don't want cell towers in front of our bedroom window. We want to have our neighborhoods maintain what was called, the quiet enjoyment of our street, this kind of naturalness of the airwaves rather than having the airwaves abuzz. When you go to where a cell tower is installed and you talk to the people who live there, they'll tell you it's buzzing there, it's noisy there. There are complaints of I can't sleep well at night. I have I teach massage classes. And so I hear from my students on a regular basis how they're doing, and I have a student right now who's, 7 months pregnant. She's nauseous all the time. She can't sleep at night. And there's a direct relationship with the RF that is happening in her neighborhood. And when there's an apartment, there's another level, which is, what are the routers that are in the adjacent buildings. All these things need local laws and federal laws to create safe protections for us. And we're also wanting us to be cautious for teens to be aware that these cell phones have radio frequencies that can be harmful, and it's in the fine print when you go and read your cell phone user's guide. That will let us know that we need to keep that cell phone away from our body. But often we don't read that fine print, we're not aware, and we end up having it right up next to our ear, on our bodies, or where we sleep at night. And we want to give ourselves a break from those frequencies by putting it on an airplane, putting it off our body, having it charging in another room. These are all important things that we each need to be mindful of for the health of our nervous system. Our nervous system is such a precious system in our body, and it needs protection from these artificial energies that the cell phones, the routers, and the antennas are emitting.
I had Richard Ellsworth do a sweep in my house with that little machine thing that he has, and it was lit up like 4th of July. Well, of course, especially in the biggest room that was lit up. But we talked about this once before, Kimmy, and I thought I did some things. And like I said, well, nothing's wrong with my case because I paid a stupid amount of money for my protective case, and that thing went off like a whoa. And I'm like, seriously? So I had to buy another case. Now this one works, okay? Because there's nothing going on here. I can go like this, whatever I want to do with this. And I know because I see kids all the time put these things in their back pocket. I was trying to explain to my sons, because I bought them jackets for their laptops, because I always put them on their lap. And I know there's this big surge of certain kinds of cancers that girls and boys are getting internally that has never shown up before, because of the amount of usage that kids are doing, sitting, putting their laps. And now with the whole thing of being remote, it's only going to increase. So yeah, we need to share this information with our youth, and maybe we can get enough of them behind this, because why, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there a tower outside of Santa Barbara High School? Or they take that down?
I don't know the answer now. I will, on what portion of it, I will go look at it on my way.
Right on the street. Supposedly somebody had told me not too long ago that they were putting up a tower right outside of Santa Barbara High School. And I'm like, what? I mean, you can't put a marijuana dispensary within so many miles of a school, and yet we let these towers, that the science is there that it's dangerous. And then we have other areas like Hope Ranch. I don't think you're going to find a tower inside Hope Ranch. Am I right?
Oh, that's
no,
not
there
true.
are.
Oh, there?
True. They have, Crown Castle has applications, and for the Santa Barbara Architectural Review Board tomorrow, applications in Hope Ranch. So, Montecito has cell antennas lining East Valley Road. Nobody's immune to it unless they have a protective ordinance that will restrict it. So the county has made cross-outs, which in their ordinance to so that they don't limit what's happening in neighborhoods. And one of the really important requirements that we advocate here is that Crown Castle has the responsibility to prove there's actually a need. So they have a profit motive to have us saturated with as many antennas as possible. So they have this kind of fancy language saying that there's a gap in capacity. Well, the Telecommunications Act doesn't require our local municipality to correct a gap in capacity. Capacity is the word for broadband. What they require is that if there's an emergency, we have the ability to use our cell phone. And that's called a significant gap in coverage. So are there drop calls in the neighborhood? And what needs to be proven is that there are actually drop calls. So that 6 months of drop calls to demonstrate that this additional tower is needed rather than it's desired by the telecommunication, carriers.
Yeah, this is actually a grab for real estate on these poles. So these telecom companies can just keep charging for that, and it's nothing to do with what we really need.
Great. All right, let's do this. I could look around the room and people have questions. So let's leave the next section for some questions, and let's take a little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more 5G info after these messages.
You're simply the best.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. Wow, this is good chatter right now. We actually touched this on this a few years ago when 5G first landed in Santa Barbara. Nobody knew what was going on. Towers are going up all over the place. And now we had this pandemic, and that's kind of put it off to the side. It should have never put it off to the side. But now we need to get it back in the forefront again and understand what's happening and actually use science to support the position, because Santa Barbara is such a unique place. It's such a beautiful bubble. And we like to keep it that way. Emily, what do you have to say?
So bringing it back to the teens and the families, that this information is very important and affects us all. So my question is, how do we begin to shift those habits? When I was teaching in an elementary school, the technology, the kids were on their technology all the time. They were talking about it. With the pandemic, we've been on technology more than ever. right? So my question is, yes, it's out there, the information out there. Thank you, ladies, for doing the work that you do. So appreciative of all that. So now, how do we begin to shift those habits in the home so that we start to, instead of even this week, I was, when I get lazy, I just sit on YouTube and I watch the craziest things you'd ever watch, because it kind of zones me out, right? And I think technology does that, is it zones us out. And so so how do we begin to shift those habits so that I decided to read a book. Instead, my partner and I read a book out loud to each other of a local author that just published a book. And I thought, this is such a great way as a family to bring that back. And so do you have some suggestions, or anybody has suggestions of how we begin to shift our technology dependency habits that we already have so that we can free ourselves from this, I got to have my phone on I got to check my text all the time. Does that...
I think their name real fast, safe technology. I think you have to use verbiage like that. We want safe technology, safe technology. Yeah. So it's a genius marketing. So you just keep saying, look, just show me, give me the science. We just want safe technology. Do you agree? I mean, no one's going to say, no, I want to zap you. I want to cause you cancer.
Well, that's the reason we changed our name. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Katie.
So as an educator and parent, I'd like to answer that. So I advocate family time. So that is important with our families. We're going in many different directions. And I know I have to be a model myself. So when I was raising my son, there were times when I thought it was more important to be, on my email, doing my stuff. And my son used to come up and beg me for family time. And, I'm working, I'm busy, etc. So I recognize I have modeled for my son the priority of family time. So that is a top priority, that we have our designated times in the week that is just family time. When we get together and we talk and we discuss different issues, this morning I listened to the mayoral debate last night. I asked my son his reflection on certain things that I didn't understand about the state bills around housing. He had a very interesting reflection. So it's taking a deep interest in their point of view and what are the local issues and discussing them. Now, on the education level, I would love to have this question be asked on the education level of our educators, because I've been involved in educating for the last 31 years. And what I do with my students is I take them to the park. We start off every class going to the park in nature. They come in tired, they come in zapped from all that they've been up to and their technologies. And I teach them how to revive themselves with the fundamental energy of the earth and the sun and the atmosphere. We do this wonderful Qigong. They all report they feel amazingly better. And so, that, and I also have implemented into the classroom something called heart rate variability and the biofeedback of the M wave. So I recently had a student grappling with addiction, and she's been able to wean herself off of the addiction by learning to have this biofeedback of what's going on in her physiology when she feels that anxiety, when she needs, something to lift her out of that anxiety, and the capacity to simply breathe and open and soften in the heart. And it's completely shifted the need for that fix, which is that what that technology does is it gives us that fix. It's a zap of dopamine. Mm-hmm. We can generate the dopamine in our own bodies so that we get this natural high from our own deep breathing and our own neurochemicals that we can produce by being in nature and practicing what we call the essential methods. Deep breathing, gentle movement, massage, relaxation. We can generate those feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters on our own. And then we're not so dependent on the devices to give us a hit of dopamine.
Really well said. I love it. Christine.
I heard recently that there of a recent study that said 10 minutes outside in the sunshine will give you way more energy than a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So that's something that's really important to do, is to go outside. And
yes, vitamin D.
The thought that has occurred to me too is how do we cope? How do we adapt? What do we do? What are safe ways to use technology? Like I carry shungite. It's a stone that shifts my energy, that protects my energy. But are there, I mean, I think that's a good thing to explore, if not on this show, another show. What are the little things that we can do? How far do we hold? Do we use our speakerphone? Different things that are going to help us be as safe as possible with the technology that we are using. I think that's really important for our teens, for our youth, and also for us, for everybody.
Yeah, I could answer that. I don't know if we're going right to break, but I do have a quick little overview.
Okay, so why don't we do this? I like this, and I was going to do another show, but I know that the person who's going to talk a little bit today, thank you, Richard Ellsworth, isn't going to mind because he can jump in because he's the one who, he used his little meter thing, so that was a good thing just to know that you have an issue. But we'll talk about all the different ways we can do to help us after these messages. Let's do that. This is Erica Salt of the Cleaner Team. We'll be back with more safe tips on 5G.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salt of the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Hey everyone, this is Kimmy Van Dyke, and I'm with Safe Technology for Santa Barbara County with Katie Mickey. And just wanted to give you a little more information. We're talking about 5G and how to make our technology safer. And there are things to do. And first, one of the things I'd love, seeing how we're on Teen Sport Radio here, is go check out this URL. It's screenagersmovie.com. And that's Screenagers. So this is talking about growing up in the digital age. And I think this will give a great perspective to the students and to everybody, so we can, implement some different ways of being. So when you're on your cell phone, that is always giving off radiation, especially when it's trying to connect. So the less bars you have, the harder it's trying to connect, and the more, toxic your environment is around your cell phone. So what we suggest is turning your cell phone all the way off anytime you can. When it needs to be charging, charge it away from your body and not be using it, and put it in another room. If you do need to use it, you can actually plug it into your router with an Ethernet cable and a dongle and turn off all the radios, so there's no extra wireless frequency hitting you. And so this is a great thing to do. Plus, you can also get a stylus at the end, put your cell phone on a hard surface and use this, plug it in wired. Now you got something. So these are little things you can do. And distance is your friend. Distance matters. The farther that you are from these other cell phones and Wi-Fi routers, even your phone, you might have cordless phones all throughout your house. Those are all transmitting. You've got your Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi, your neighbor's Wi-Fi, your smart meter. It's on and on. So because this is invisible, it's best to get some sort of a meter, and there's a lot of great meters out there, and then you can start to get an idea of what's going on with this invisible space and hear these sounds that you cannot see and start to mitigate. And so you'll sleep better, and your body will feel better, and you will be rejuvenating instead of slightly declining. So
wow, Jimmy, thank you.
A little bit right there.
getting into the meter. That's we're going to go to Richard Ellsworth, okay, because he swept this house. And this house, probably on a scale of 1 to 10, was in radians was an 8. I'd give myself an 8. Would you say 8, Richard?
Sure.
So, but you woke me up, and I went out. I had to buy covers for the kids, a lap. I just totally wrapped everything that I could possibly wrap. So I was really surprised, and thank you for that, Richard. That was something that was done a few months back, and I was really, like I said, I think what we've done is, because of the pandemic and everything else that's going on, we just kind of put this whole issue to bed. And it's something that we need to be mindful for, like every single day. You need to be aware of what is going on around you. Richard, you have something to add?
Yeah, I think the whole idea of using a stone or using these covers that supposedly protect from EMFs. I think it's kind of out there until you get to actually see and experience it. Until you actually go and get like even an inexpensive EMF reader and watch what happens. And for me, I've always known that was a thing, and I've always promoted, putting these pieces of shungite or stones on things, or these covers that are protective, or Faraday bags, or whatever it is to protect from EMFs. But even though I was saying it, there was always this thought in the back of my mind was, does this really work, or is it all mental? But then all of a sudden you have an EMF reader and you point it at a phone that was showing numbers off the charts, and you put a piece of shungite that's less than an inch big on the back of it, and now no matter how close you hold the EMF reader, it's at 0 the whole time. I mean, when you see that, you just get this this mind-blown reaction of wow, this is something that actually works and can protect me. So when we start to think about that there are all of these little things you can do, putting your phone in a Faraday bag when you're not using it, putting a little piece of shungite on it when it's close to you, or even when it's charging, or having one of those cases that has something that will deflect the EMFs. All of these little things you can start to incorporate, and it's not very expensive, and it really, really works. And that EMF reader, it's something that I just bought this year, even though I've been hearing about them for 5 years. And it's made a huge difference because now I know what's giving off EMFs. I know what's harming me and what's not. A blender is one of the most harmful things in my house if it's plugged in.
Just plugged in. Things plugged in. Like I unplug everything. Like after I boil my water, or after I do this or that, unplugging everything, because that electricity, it's not just radio frequency radiation from man-made and whatnot. There's the electricity level that's going through our walls. And so unplugging things is a great practice.
Yeah.
You don't think on those lines until somebody makes you aware, but I'm telling you, he's not kidding. When you have that meter, which are $50-$60, and it's a great party favor. You go to somebody's house, right? You invite us to their house for a party, right? You just start turning. I'm telling you, it works. You don't get invited. I am telling you, it is a cool little thing. It's better than bringing those little 8 balls that talk. I used to do that, but now I'm just bringing the meter. Excuse me. Just want to check my safety.
I'm just showing you guys this too. This is a small Faraday pouch. And so in here is silver lining. And this is what is stopping the frequencies for coming in. This one's made, I believe, by Silent Pocket. And then this is also one of those cases you were talking about. So this,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the purple one.
Of course.
Not just my hair. No. Right? So, yeah, excellent. Really good. I don't know. Anything else you want to add, Katie?
Well, on October 12th, the governor signs into law, or has the opportunity to veto, some of the bad bills that passed recently. So there is some particularly bad bills. And so our governor needs to hear from folks if they're interested in helping maintain the local control of our ordinance. And so that's another factor. The information is on our website. If you would like to go to our website, safetechsbc.org, gives you information of where to make a phone call. These bad bills are promoted as bridging the digital divide, but they don't actually. What we want is fiber optics to the premise, rather than to have all this broadband being spewed on the airwaves. We have instead the ability to bring the broadband to the premise and leave our airwaves free of all that broadband, because it interferes with our biology and all the ways that we're just describing. So love to have you join us with that call to the governor's office.
Yeah, we also meet weekly on Wednesdays. You can email us at info@safetechsbc.org to contact us about anything. Join our meeting, tell us about a tower, get involved. But we do have a big thing on Tuesday, October 12th with the Ordinance Committee in the Santa Barbara City limits here to vote about this ordinance. And so
is that going to be on Zoom, or is it just you have to show up to that? How's that?
That would
go to webinar.
Yeah, that's on Zoom. They have stopped everybody from meeting in person in the city, Santa Barbara City. So you can't go in and make public comment anymore, only on Zoom. But that's where we will be. And we've been following up with them like crazy and making meetings with the local officials so they can ask us questions and understand what we're up against.
How do you think that's going to go?
Well, we're doing our best. They are very busy and it's very complicated, and there's a lot of misinformation. So it's a tough job.
All right. Well, we'll get that news. We'll put that on all of our platforms on Teen Sports Radio to help in any which way that we can. And what we would like to do too is, Kimmy and Katie, why don't you get we'll do a Safe Tech technology, Safe Tech SBC. We'll do a commercial. Okay. I think you guys can use a commercial, and we'll run that. We'll hard code it. We'll run that 4 days a week. And then we'll throw that on all of our platforms. So I'll let you get a hold with Dr. D, and I don't know, he likes Starbucks card or something. If you have a Safe Tech t-shirt size large, just throw it out there, okay? But there would be no other requirements, okay?
Plus, we'll be at the farmers market. We're hoping this Saturday and next Saturday. So come by and just chat with us. We have a lot of interesting things to show you.
Okay, great. So let's take a little break. We got a little bit more show left. This is Erica Salt of the Queen of Team. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Streets of Brazil, back in the USSR, way down in LA, every day, dancing in the street, crossing China too, me and you, dancing in the street.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salt of the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hi, this is Don Sanders from donsmassageinohi.com, 805-236-2684. I serve the communities of Ventura, Santa Barbara, Ojai, and sometimes Oxnard with therapeutic body work. And just like this show here, there's all sorts of kinds of support and encouragement for your mind, body, and spirit. If you've listened today or you keep on listening, tell your friends, invite other people. It's a tremendous place. And the thing about getting started, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one first step. And what we're trying to do is build resiliency and conviction. With resiliency and conviction, cheerfulness, boldness, you can go forward. You can start in the direction of your dreams. And that with a patience plan and a process will allow you to reap the benefit of the seeds you've planted and have lots of beautiful foliage and blossoms eventually. If you have too much self-doubt or you have too many EMFs, if you've been listening today, you can infect your beautiful growing life with noxious weeds of, like I said, self-doubt. So the important thing is, this is a great community, virtual community. You don't have to be there to actually plug into this beautiful community of abundant opportunities for growth and encouragement and support for your mind and your body and your spirit. And thank you so much, Teen Sports Radio, for a platform to do this from.
Oh, John, thank you. Wow. All right, so let's go through this one more time. Kimmy, we got like another minute, but anything you want to add?
Environmental Health Trust is a global organization that we refer to a lot because they are very involved. And so their website is ehtrust.org. And that is a huge resource there for handouts and questions, and you can just type anything into the search engine, see the latest news, what's going on with the FCC and whatnot. So I would totally suggest that, and then join our email list at safetechsbc.org so we can keep in touch. We'd love your participation on October 12th. And prior to talking to your local representatives in the city, put them on the spot, as well as the candidates that are up for mayoral and the seats on the city council, asking them what they know and what they plan to do about safe technology and what is going on with the small cell facilities that are being installed.
Kimmy, you crushed it. I told you would. You're wonderful. I love it. Seriously. All right, let's do this. Let's invite you guys back after the 12th. I want to know what happens. And let's get in for that commercial. And anything else that you want me to put up on our platforms, we'll do it. Okay, we so appreciate your service and your work and your courage, because a lot of times when you're bumping heads against things, especially during this pandemic time, people are edgy and cranky. And I just tell everybody, like, as we walk every single day around this city, just post a smile and make somebody happy every single day. Stay in your own lane, no judging. You know what I mean? If we all manage to do that, it's more of a uniting. All right, let's just unite. This is a good thing, and it's a good thing for our kids. God bless everybody. See you next week.
You're the best around. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever bring you down.